Podcast, episode
no claps, no.
5 of 2021. Take one. Let's clap together, man. Let's clap together.
Alright, let me.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That was the major clap. That was my major clap. There's no way I can't have a proper sync after that clap, man. Welcome to it. Easyjust episode 5, but episode 1 of 2021. Sibuyile sabangena. Pesquabo, man. Welcome
yeah,
to
man.
it.
You know what it is. 2021.
Yes.
2020 behind us.
Yep.
Vaccines in front of us. Diseases behind us.
No, diseases are still here, my guy.
I mean, yeah.
Well, they still here. No,
you're right. You're totally right.
This disease is like that friend that does not want to leave. You know that guy when you're trying to show him signs. You're like, XC, you close the door. You want him to leave. You switch off the TV, you switch off the music, you go put on your pajamas, you open the. He's just chilling on some. Is there more drinks in the fridge?
And this is the guy that has stayed his welcome so much that he goes to the fridge himself and he opens and he checks.
And he checks. It's just like, no, I'm not going anywhere. But yeah, man, Happy New Year and all that stuff. I don't know. Do we still say compliments, man? Compliments.
Yes. We have to be polite. Compliments of the new season that is coming up, I guess.
You didn't die. I think that's one thing you should be grateful for in 2021. If you are watching this, you didn't die.
Yeah, you're alive.
COVID. You are alive and you are well. You know, you are well.
That's actually a hectic. I mean, yeah, it's true.
It is, man. You didn't die.
You survived. Yeah, you survived. You survived, and you've got 365 days to make an impact. You know, and then you've got another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. You got 365
days to live. Just stay alive, man, and stay away from COVID. Put your mask on and all of those things, man. But
social distance.
You know, this is how we doing the podcast now. I'm out of frame, but don't worry.
I just thought about it. No, but you know what? People are still sitting together in restaurants and places.
Yeah.
It's not like when we shoot the podcast, it's like a party in a group of people. It's not.
Sir.
So it's not a super spreader. It is just at least one person.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So we're still within the realm
reasonable.
of
reasonable of reasonable business.
Reasonable business. Yes, there we go. How was your festival? And I know you came back from the EC and everything. You went down there for family business, serious business, life business.
It was cool. Really enjoyed going home, man. Shudus was my puppy. You might have seen him in episode 3.
3 or 2? 3. Engel, Baba, man. Engel.
My bad. I can never get used to this position of holding something like this. So I think maybe you're right about that stand that I should get.
You should.
This whole thing.
So now, yeah, like this ice cream cone.
I'm not built for this.
So yeah, Shudus was your thing.
Yeah. I went home. Shudus was there with the fam. It's just nice getting love from family, man.
I'm envious, bro.
Envy.
The family envy, you know, like this is the 1 year where I was envious of seeing people taking pictures with their moms and dads and family and sitting around the fire or whatever, you know, all these things that we do, and I'm just like, I envy your backyard. Like that is where I was that guy. I'm just I envy your yard. You are at home, you are in your yard with your people, whether you are Lalini or whatever. I was envying people's backyards and living rooms and baby sign this thing. Room dividers, you know almost when you see that picture with the room divider, the ceramic dolls, that picture with the woman and the baby, like holding the baby and everything, Pauline Ponyana.
And a Jesus quote somewhere.
My man, Christmas, no, kitchen prayer. You know when you see this with the kitchen prayer, I was envious of that shit because I didn't get to go home, man. I didn't get to go home.
Yeah, hardy boy.
No,
but I mean, go home soon.
I will.
Go home soon. But it was cool, man. I mean, I think the only thing that disappointed me was how many alcohol outlets there were. There was really just a high number of places to get alcohol. And I just found that very...
Like COVID of new COVID, they were just like, we are selling.
Yeah, I mean, but I think it's like a thing that's probably been there even before COVID. You know, it was just something that was developing over time. That the only business... I think we spoke about this in another episode, actually. That the only businesses that survive are alcohol. But just seeing it was crazy. And then, you know what? Dude, in my town, I'm from SUBCSRIBE. Dog.
Nobody knows where that is, by the way. If you don't know where SUBCSRIBE is where this guy is.
Here's where it is. Here's where it is. You know, if it's dirty, first of all, Stad used to be known as one of the most clean towns. You know, it was like Kigali. It was like spick and span. And then, you know, I guess, things transpired over time, at least since 2003. Like, and then, like, obviously when municipalities protest and stuff, now it's so dirty, bro. It's like nobody collects any of the rubbish. Jeez. It's just that it's so dirty. We don't even have stray dogs. We have stray pigs. We've got pigs everywhere, bro. It's like pigs walking up and down, eating rubbish everywhere. Like, I'll show you the pictures on
dirty
Facebook.
Bacon, basically.
Bruh, it's like disgusting. You know, we should have a law that you could just eat the pigs.
Also, I want to congratulate you on something. I want to congratulate you, my nigga. I want to congratulate you on your new fucking haircut, bro. Look at this motherfucker looking clean and shit. Like, episode 1 to episode 4. Like, you are out here you are George Bush.
Yeah, I was.
You're out here looking shembe as fuck on your head.
I was a Super Saiyan.
Vegeta.
That's how I see it. I was a Super Saiyan.
You were out here looking like Ushembe or
you know what?
distant cousin Yaga Big Zulu.
You know what? I like the big hair because I think for me in my life, symbolically, when I've grown hair like that, it's when I'm the happiest.
Okay.
I'm still happy now. But I guess I'm just, I don't know.
No, you're trying to avoid
evolution.
You're trying to avoid those family conversations like, ooh, inwele zingaga Kwanda.
No, but I had my old hairstyle at home. So
okay.
After I came back.
Okay. And I see you got a young Mandela line going on there, long road.
Yeah, you must know.
No.
You must know. Hey.
You clean up well, man. No, you clean up well, boy. You clean up well.
Thank you, bro.
I love it. Nah, man, for me, the festive season, I pretty much spent most of it in this here room. I was home most of the time.
As you should have.
Yeah, I was here. There are times, I'm not gonna lie. There are times when I went out and saw a few friends. I had company, for Christmas, which was cool. The 26th as well. I spent some time with some friends in the observatory, which was also cool. Just chilling. 1 minute was just like four friends just chilling. It was we were still within the rules
reasonable,
at the time, reasonable protocol.
So be reasonable is at least that kind of number. In the UK, they've got rules where you can't congregate being more than 6 people.
Imagine.
So if you're 4, you're reasonable.
So that was cool, man. I got to chill, but I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, man, I had home envy. I had home serious. Like the thing that happened to me, I even got tired of speaking English and it's closer. Like I was tired. Like my tongue is tired of speaking this language. I was just like, I just want to go home. I could not. Like even now, I'm just like, yo, I'm tired, man.
Maybe
tired.
Then we must just get more of Papik.
Yeah,
that's the only solution to that. If you
Papik is rough, man.
Just more Papik.
No, if you get Papik, if he's frustrated, you start kicking shit everywhere and like messing with things.
By the way, Papiki is Obakeng's alter ego.
Basically, you'll see him on my channel and
go ahead, do your thing, bro. Do your thing.
Yeah. They'll know these people. Papiki shows up sometimes and he's just like this Bloom character. But nonetheless, man, it was cool. I got to spend a lot of time doing a lot of reflecting, actually, exercising, and then kind of planning out what I want to do this year. You know what I mean? Sure. In terms of comedy, in terms of our content, in terms of work, and just like growing. There's it needs to be every year you need to grow and like make sure you grow year on year.
Yeah.
And I want to lose my gut. I want to stop drinking beer for at least like 3 months. That kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So I see you have implementation plans to your goals too. That's
basically.
Very important to have that.
Have I started? Hell no. But I thought about it.
Sure.
But it was cool. And I actually got to really understand that I enjoy my own company.
Yeah, ne? I've also gotten some things that I've actually started to do this year that are like, there's just some things that are gonna have to happen differently this year. Like I've lent my PlayStation away.
You did what?
I've done that.
How, Sway?
You didn't notice it, but it actually wasn't
how,
there.
Sway? You lent your PlayStation. And FIFA are just... Yeah,
FIFA
how, Sway?
Just FIFA.
Man, now what cool as?
Please.
Coolile, man, now.
More like FIFA for fun. FIFA for fun.
FIFA for fun.
You know?
Fun.
Tech. Yeah, so...
man.
And that's all in the name of just trying to, own more of my time and... just be more disciplined with my time.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Man,
I mean, and another thing that we've done is that my partner and I have started my fiance, I should say.
We're gonna get into that actually. I want us to get into that because we're about to reach
to each other.
Word?
Yeah, we read to each other out loud at night before we sleep. And we're going through this book, and this is the fastest I've ever gone through a book. And it's so nice because when you're not reading, you're just listening. But she falls asleep. But yeah, I mean, it's like it's like a dope thing to do, and it can actually help you get through a book pretty quickly.
No damn doubt. We're gonna talk about that because this is actually one of the things that we were planning to talk about with Lobola and everything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna get into it right now in the next segment. You're still with us. Our first episode for 2021, the Easyjust podcast with myself, Obakeng Moroe, and Kwanda and Doda. We didn't do like
what
an
it
intro at the
is.
first, but we're still here.
Sutindu.
We'll be back right after these messages. There's no messages, but we'll be back. Yes, welcome back to it. Second segment. As I said, we're still here on the Easyjust podcast with myself, Obakeng Moroe, and Kwanda and Doda.
What up, though?
We were about to talk about this very important development that just happened in my boy's life.
Oh, yeah.
Very important development, man. So tell me about it, fam. Tell me about it. What happened? How did you do it? Wagwan. Because you are out here growing and showing us flames. And now you are the subject of us being looked at like, what's happening?
You know what? We'll get into that.
We'll get into that, but
we'll definitely get into that.
So yeah, my boy is not dating anymore now. He has a goddamn fiancé.
Yeah, but you know what? For me, that was that decision was I think is a mindset that you adopt at a certain level in the relationship. When you decide that, okay, you know what? Every day I'm gonna work on myself.
Right.
And be the best version of myself for this person.
Right.
And so I think that decision I'd made a long time ago. And then
in December you were like, now I have choice assorted money.
Yeah, I suppose.
I have choice assorted money. Wagwan. How do I make this a proper reality and just like sink my teeth and your nails and everything into it? And
I guess it's more of I don't know. I don't think it's properly like committed. I think it's just a formality. All of it is just a formality. But it's things that you have to do as like kind of how can I say?
Stop being so profound about it, man. What did happen? How did you do it? What happened?
No, it's just I must correct your words because I must, if I'm gonna speak for it, I must speak for it properly.
Oh, I know, I get you.
So
I just want to hear the juice because I'm just happy that you got engaged.
Juice, though. I mean, a lot of people get engaged all the
Nah,
time.
my ninja, no. It's not everyone that is Kwanda and Dod, and it's not everyone that is my friend. So I want to know how and what my friend did. And
I mean, I didn't do anything. I mean, so I think it was. I mean, paying a Lobola is, and it's not even all of it, I guess. So you paid in stages, and it is what it is. What I was trying to do is tell you how I felt about it.
Okay. Because now I was thinking like engagement and then Lobola. But anyway, we here now.
Oh, I mean, so what's the difference then?
Let's get into what you want to talk about. We'll get into that, but like I want to hear how the Lobola story, what you wanted to tell me. I want to hear about that.
Sure. No, I mean, so look, the whole process is that's why I'm saying it's a formality. That's what I'm getting to, because it's really families and institutions and everybody kind of acknowledging your relationship.
Okay.
And so that it's you approaching them to say that we are together. You know, so my family, her family, courts in time, and you know, and a lot of people would say God.
Yes.
And I say that too.
Yes.
So that's what it is. But I mean, I think the God part for me is already there a long time. I think it's at that part in the relationship when you're making that decision that I'm going to be the best version of myself for this person forever. And I'm going to work on that every day, you know, and I'm going to wake up in the morning and think of, you know, what can I do better? It's like the stuff we were talking about in the car, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, communication, trust, and love. Those three things. So those three. I mean, I'm just moving away from the romanticizing it.
I'm romanticizing the hell out of it right now. I'm not even going.
I mean, I suppose.
I'm
mean, if I was
romanticizing
on
the
the
hell out
outside,
of it.
maybe I would too.
No, I would romanticize that. But like for you, like going through that process, right? Because now you had to. I don't know how. I really don't know how it really goes down in
Okay,
in
so how it
and
goes
everything. But
down.
like, how did it make you feel? Like you had said you made the conscious decision a long time ago. Now it's just the formality, but there has to be some kind of feeling or I don't know, milestone maybe that you step into once you make it formal, the formalities are done, because now you're not only making that decision by yourself or just consciously in your mind, you are actually formalizing it with other people that are of importance. You know what I mean? So how did that make you feel, boy? And what happened there?
Yeah, so I mean, so that's exactly it. You've hit the nail right on the head, bro, because it's exactly how other people now act about your relationship. So what was important for me out of it was that I must still, and you know, that's why we came back early, because we just wanted to spend time together.
Basically.
That is what is important to me, the relationship, you know, and so the way people act about it is like, you know, it must always be secondary. So you must always be reminding yourself, I think, as the person getting married, that the process is between me and this person.
Right.
So, and the important part is me and this person. And it's difficult because this is your family. But I was adamant to just make the decision, you know, just be together in this time. And just have our first Christmas together, you know.
This pillow looks stupid as fuck on camera if you have it there.
But it really gives me balance.
Oh, okay. Just like now, it makes you look like you have a peacock.
No, it's just like under my arm. It's like you know, it's like as I'm talking, it's something to gush.
Oh,
I'm just gushing it.
As you say, let me not disturb your train of thought.
I mean, so it's all that, and I just think I wanted to remind myself of that, because for me, I think the concept of marriage was not maybe say daunting, but it's not something I particularly saw for myself. So I don't really see it as an accomplishment. I almost see it as not an inconvenience, but just something you have to do. But the important part is the relationship. You know, it's this person and interacting with them and thinking about them, and working on the relationship. You know?
Right.
So stepping away from the romanticizing it. It's okay to have that. The spice will always be there. You know, but remember that it's work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work, man. And I think it's also like making that, for lack of a better phrase, grown-up decision that I'm done. I've made my decision. I found the person. This is where I'm going, and I've put my word, my money, my existence, my everything into it, and you kind of solidifying your position from here on out. Going forward, you know what I mean? You're solidifying it, and you've made that conscious decision, which a lot of people take a long time to make, if they do. And as you said before, like, it wasn't something that you saw for yourself, but for reasons beknown to you and your partner, you decided to freaking just do it. So congratulations, like from my side. I think, you know, I was being a goofball about it earlier and whatever, but at the crux of it, I'm actually fucking happy for you, homie.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Bro.
I'm
and I mean,
happy for you.
it's also expensive, you know. That's
Yeah.
That's the thing, and that's why I'm taking away from the romance.
Yeah.
This formalization of our relationship in this way is an expensive process.
I was just about to say, like, yo, man, how much does this just set you back, homie?
You don't have to tell like me that. 5 million.
You don't have to tell me that.
5 million, but you know your boy.
It's like
your boy.
You lay by in here. Like,
yeah, basically. But I mean, it's I think it's inhibiting of love in a I don't want to say in a precarious situation, but sex is happening anyways, right?
Of course. I mean,
so sex is happening anyways, and two people, let's say young people, fall in love, have a child, and let's say they 21 and 22, they both doing third year in varsity, they both looking for jobs, and they really they'd love to form a family. That would really motivate them, and they'd really work hard at keeping it together and being better people because of that. Let's just paint that scenario. But now they're inhibited in some ways because say maybe this guy can't afford to pay Lobola for this woman. You know what I'm saying?
It does happen.
Now I know that maybe it's a trivial example to make, and maybe it never happens like that, and maybe families will always let them be together, notwithstanding if this guy can pay Lobola or not. But just imagine if they can't, then isn't that tradition in the way of that?
Inhibiting. Yeah,
and
no.
Aren't we like the one race that has the least I want to say structure in families, although I don't want to say nuclear families are like the way to be and go, Life is very different and has many things about it. But we do complain about fractured families. I think as black people we do, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you can agree with me on that.
No doubt.
And so if we agree on that, then why would we have traditions that may inhibit family formation? We should have policies that enhance family formation because we need more families.
A lot of what happens in this regard, man, I think it's traditions that I don't want to say blindly, but to a degree blindly. You know what I mean? Decided to just carry on because it's how we've been taught and how things have been happening for a long time. And then because we have so much respect for what came before us, as we should, and we've always been taught to do that, that we haven't really came how can I put it? Thought of reviewing and resetting and finding the reasons why, because the reasons why things were done in a particular way when all these customs were established, they are very different. It's a very different life that we're living now.
Exactly.
Completely, but yet we're still applying the same rules and the same tradition, the same guidances that we've had, even though life and reasons behind why we did things in those days have changed drastically. True. But because of trying to pay homage or trying to stay loyal to who we are, quote unquote, we stay doing those things, even though we do realize there's a lot of flaws, there's a lot of inhibiting flaws, and there's a lot of people that take advantage of all of that, because we are so loyal to those traditions, that we are unshakingly loyal to those traditions, because they make us feel
strong
like
part of our identity,
they make us feel black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They make it's one of those cornerstones that are at the forefront of being black, because we've carried those on so much. You know what I mean?
You said it in a very, very eloquent way. Like being black, it forms part of our identity.
Yeah, and that's why we don't really want to review. And when you do want to review and talk about the things that are inhibiting, people are very averse to that. They don't want to do that.
Beef immediately.
Quick.
You know what? But you know what an important thing is that something like Lobola involves finances or money or resources, And back in the day, I think we're still recording,
Yeah.
Back in the day, we had resources.
We do.
We know for a fact that historically resources were taken away.
Most
why would we still have a tradition that is not cognizant that we no longer have nobody has a bunch of cows?
We don't. We have cows are viewed as your bank balance now. But keep going, because I want to keep this recording, because we're gonna cut out. You see, this is what I was talking about. But that's fine. Keep going.
Still in that way, nobody has cows lying around today. whether it's money or actual cows, whether it's like the cow Mtata that ate someone apparently. A cow apparently ate someone, bro.
That was a cow that was meant to be part of a Lobola negotiation.
You know what I mean?
It was supposed to go out and then...
I'd have that cow negotiate for me.
And that cow was like, I ain't going out like that. If you're going to slaughter me, I'll eat one of yours.
Yo, you know when they have the running of the bulls in Spain?
Yeah.
They must bring those cows.
Those cows.
We get you, we eat you. Dang. That's crazy, bro. A cow went carnivorous, according to those news. It's crazy.
But coming back to what we were talking about, I really do think that we need to get in a space where we interrogate our traditions. And when I say interrogate, doesn't mean take away, because people usually think when you interrogate tradition or anything, and this goes with whether it's African tradition, whether it's religious religion, you know what I mean, and all those things, anything that is traditional and customary for whatever reason. When you say interrogate and review, it doesn't mean you're taking away.
Yes.
It means you're trying to apply it or calibrate. There we go. For the life that we're living now, because things change and they evolve, and our customs should do the same.
And we evolve.
And I mean, now I get it that Lobola, for example, has taken the form of from cows to now money, because the money is the new cow. the rand is the new cow, I guess.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, look, a lot of the times, I mean, it's not all bad. I mean,
No, it isn't.
I mean, even in Lobola, there's some good sides, but I think I do think we as a people have to relook at it.
Yeah.
And even from a policy perspective, maybe it needs to be looked at. Because there are some good things, like I think the basis of it is that the groom must show that he can toil away for his bride. And I think that's a beautiful concept. And yes, the groom should toil away for his bride. But I think even when we say that, we must still realize that South Africa has very high unemployment.
Yes.
And then also in black families, there's a high degree of fracture, I think.
Yeah.
So I think those things, Jay, we must just think of.
I think again, what I've noticed people have done, especially in terms of Lobola, specifically since we're talking about that, is nobody goes back and assesses or even tries to find out what was the reason for it to begin with and how was it handled customary, because now that whole thing has become a lot of like it has become fragmented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was a different, I mean, I don't even know the all the base of it, but I know that as much as like the cows would go to like from the groom's family to the bride's family, but all of that was to aid the wedding, the festivities. It wasn't to enrich the next family. You're not buying your bride.
No, it is for the wedding. It is for the wedding, and I mean, and I think that's fine. That's great. But for me, I think it should be for a house for the bride and the groom. It should go towards property. Like we could that should be like policy, or it should be the way that we do things. Because those two people are forming a family, an institution, a unit on their own. So if they're doing that, they must maybe have a geographic place where they can go do that.
Definitely.
And so that money, instead of going towards the wedding, the whole thing is that the wedding must be extravagant. And even in a lot of cultures, like I think in some Indian cultures, it has to be quite extravagant. And it's a whole thing that the families have to relate. So there'll be a big party and a feast, basically.
Yes.
So that the families can relate. But I think a property is even better for families to relate, because the families can go to the property forever. And
it's something you can point to.
Like, yeah, exactly.
It's something you can point to. There's something that like my mom, for example, we used to talk about this a lot. When it comes to paying mahadi, because Tina we call it mahadi kastra.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So Lobola is in
mahadi.
Yeah, honake mahadi. So her vision or outlook was, if it's two families coming together because of two young people that have fallen in love and decided that they're going to build a life together, right? How about something? And I don't. It's just pure logic. How about something comes from the groom side of the family? Say, be it money, be it cows, be it whatever, and from the bride side of the family, be it money, be it cars, be it whatever, all of that money comes together and goes to the couple, right?
Yeah.
And gets used to build this new life that they want to build. So, for example, if say now we decide to get married and I pop out, whatever, 30K, my person pops out from their family, another 30K, but the 60K now goes into deposit for a house, or it goes to the in that way everything is balanced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In everything is balanced. Nobody feels like they have power over the next person, because you're not trying to what's the word that I'm looking for? You're not trying to be the powerful person as the groom. You're not trying, essentially, in this life that we live in, you're not trying to be that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now you have a situation where both families are coming together, contributing to this new segment of the family, or new branch of the family that's been formed by these two people that have fallen in love, and you started that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
And that was a philosophy, because otherwise what tends to happen, especially mostly from the groom side, they always feel like, because I paid Lobola for you, I paid Mahadi for you, now I own you. And that happens more often than we think.
Yeah.
Right? So that was her logic. And this is something that I completely agreed with, because you make a decision, and then both of you contribute equally to this new life that you're building. And it's balanced and fair from the onset.
Yeah. Because I mean, it should be a reflection of the relationship.
No damn doubt. No damn doubt. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think my sticking point is just buying a property. I think that should be something we as people say that is something that we do. It must be like our culture.
Yeah.
That is something we should adopt as our culture, because I think in the time when Lobola was probably conceptualized, we didn't see land like that.
Yeah, because we had land.
Yeah, we had land. So and you couldn't really own it. Everybody owned land.
Yeah.
So it was like the sky, right? And because those things have changed, I think that at least that one thing should change and be that. 70% of that money must go towards the property.
Yeah.
And then the other money must be used for the ceremony. And then that part. Anything else actually doesn't matter to me. That's the only thing. This
is the one question that I've actually wanted to ask as well, especially when it comes to this, these extravagant monies that would be asked of the groom, in marriage situations, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously you still have to fork out money, whether you're doing it as a couple or just you. To get married, and the festivities and the marriage and all of that stuff, the wedding, I meant. Where does the Lobola money actually go if it does not get used to aid in the wedding and everything else that is of paramount importance? Then where does it actually go?
So it goes a portion will probably go to the family, a small portion, and then the bulk of it will, I think, generally goes towards the wedding. Yeah.
Does it? Because that's
I think so.
This is what I'm trying to assess, because what I've seen happen, or what I know does happen in case where you pay Lobola and it goes to the family of the bride.
Yeah.
Right? But and then after that, they are wedding expenses, actual, the dress, everything that goes into that.
Yeah.
I've always
those
understood
are all
that
for the
is
wedding, right?
Yeah.
Those are all for the wedding.
Yeah, but that's a separate expense away from what you've paid as a Lobola to the family of your bride, isn't it? Or am I getting confused? Correct me if I'm wrong. But
no, I think Lobola gets used for things for the wedding, right?
I don't know. This is what I'm asking, because I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know, because we don't. This is the other thing. We don't get taught these things.
Yeah, and also I mean, I can tell you in my negotiations, I don't feel like I can dictate what happens with that money. All I know is I have to. I'll definitely. I can talk to my partner and tell her what I would like.
Yeah.
And tell her what my ideas are, and I can hope that I can leverage, my trust in her.
Yes.
That things will happen, the way that I'd like in some parts, but there'll probably have to be compromises. But for me, in my head, the way I've dealt with it is that look, they might not use the Lobola money that I've paid to buy a property.
Right.
And I've reconciled with that. I'm fine with that. But I know that I'm working tirelessly that we must get that property.
Yes.
For those reasons of family relations that I believe in. So I'll pay for Lobola, and if it gets used for the wedding, that's great. If we can use it for the property, that's amazing.
Yes.
But I've conceded that.
I've
Dealt with the fact that I can't dictate what happens with it.
Yeah, because that and the fact that you can't, that is very much entrenched in tradition and custom.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very much entrenched in that, and we've kind of been taught to be on the back end of that. You do what you have to do, and that is your solemn duty, and the family will carry on what it is that they have to do, but you it has nothing to do with you. You just have to do whatever else, which I'm not gonna lie, in my heart of hearts, I still think is unfair of our custom. I still think it's unfair. Because you kind of have, regardless, you kind of still have to be aware of what happens, man.
How do you mean?
Like, if you're going to pay so much money that goes into another family, for the purposes of you getting the bride, and you acknowledging that money, like you kind of have to know if it's going to be accounted for the right reasons. It's going somewhere.
And I think what also happens, I mean, an important point to make is that I think the bride's family then buys gifts for the groom's family.
Yes.
As part of those relations. So it's the wedding and those gifts.
It has
So
to
will be
go
a high
somewhere.
amount, but for me, what I'm saying is I feel like a better investment for both families is a property than those two processes, the wedding and the gifts.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we will still have the wedding and the gifts, but we can have those in a much smaller proportion.
Yes.
And only have them symbolically. But that Lobola money can then go to a property. So that for me would be the ideal situation.
Yeah, because it shouldn't be money that that's basically like thrown in the drain. For lack of a better phrase, there should be something significant that's done to it. That's done
but
about it.
Here's the thing, though, right? And I'm saying this because you say poured in the drain. So another person's perspective and the family's perspective outside of the two that are getting married might be that, but we want to relate and it's awkward for us to relate because there's nothing that we are doing together. And so there's this process of giving each other gifts. There's the wedding, which is a feast, and everybody can relax and get to know each other so that they really do feel like a family. So I think the emphasis of it or the strength of it comes from families relating and coming together, which I understand, but I do think that because of our positionality as black people, mhlambi, those things we must just grin and bear it.
I guess so. But yeah, it's a long discussion and it's things that you know they're gonna take forever for us to really unpack, because my thing about even that whole experience is going into it, we know very little about it.
True.
We are taught that it's what you have to do. We are never really taught the why, and we have to pick up stompies to understand or make sense of it in our heads. And we never really get sat down and taught what everything is for, and you know what the pecking order is and everything. You know what I mean?
And like the origins.
We do it mostly out of respect of the traditions that we are born into.
Yeah.
We do it really out of respect, but we don't necessarily have, especially us youngins, you know what I mean? Especially us that are born into this age where now we are in this modern times, this double life that we live in, because we're living in a modern age with our traditional customs. They're kind of trying to balance all of that shit.
Yeah,
out,
right next to everything.
right? So we never taught the real reasons why, and we do it purely out of respect, because you don't want to step out of line of where you are and who you come from, because that family identity that we are so attached to is it's very strong and it's very prevalent in our lives.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I mean, as it should be. And
It should be.
I'm not saying that's why it's so important to know the origins of something, so that you can keep the origins of it, but then, as we said, calibrated to like how life is now. Because without the origin, it's so easy to like mission drift.
Yes.
And and then start and then things take on a life of their own. But we don't have a culture of having those conversations.
We don't.
We really don't have a culture of having those conversations. In fact, I want to say we have a culture of and it's funny that it's like that, because there are just people of a certain age and they have their own conversations, and people of a certain age that have their own conversations.
And we're not allowed into those conversations. They're not passed down well, which is why the information gets fragmented. But anyway, man, this can be a very long conversation about this very thing. We have to get into the juice of the things that have happened in 2021, as we open the year with so many things that have happened. Already things that have happened, and we're going to get into that now in the next segment of the EasyJust podcast. You are still here as we go and make the money to go pay Lobola or save up for my Lobola whenever that's gonna happen.
Next, bro.
My khadi, when I pay my khadi one day somewhere in the distant future.
You know what? Hopefully in the near future, we can make it popular that you should buy property with that money.
Yes, that's a brief, man. I will be a serious advocate for that, because at least it gives you a proper status package into life. And you don't have to start on the back end and be on the back foot the whole time and start your life out in a whole lot of debt, which is a lot of people what a lot of people do. But yeah, man, you're still here on the EasyJust podcast with myself, Obakeng Moroe, and your boy Kwanda and daughter. We're gonna get into the meat of what happened in 2021 as we got into it. Only a month, not even a month yet, and already so many things have happened. But you're still here. So Tinduk, we'll be back right after these messages.
Peace.
Message.
Message.
Hurry up and bye. Yes, welcome back to it. We are here as I put on my headphones. The other side. Yeah.
What it do? What up,
yeah,
though?
Man, we had a very long conversation about Lobola and everything, because my ninja over here got engaged and is engaged to be married and is doing the right things
baby.
by his wifey and soon to be, and I'm gonna be at the wedding.
Was wifey way back in my mind.
Ways, yeah. And I would like to MC the wedding, but as collabo. But whatever happens, I'm gonna be there. Definitely, I'm gonna be there. But now, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, bro.
Congratulations, man. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for wifey as well. And I think you guys are gonna have a really great life, because I've seen the two of you together, and there is nobody else out there for you, homie.
Thank you.
You have nobody else.
Thank you, bro.
This is it. This is it. Like Michael Jackson said, this is it. Let me pull this a little bit closer. Excuse for the sound.
It's just before he left us.
But yeah, man, we are in 2021 now, and we started this year very rough, eh?
Yeah.
Very rough. Like, we did not have a soft landing at all starting 2021. We did not have a soft landing because it opened up, and Daniel Dumile, a.k.a. Metal Face Doom, MF Doom.
Fingers,
man. Amen. One of the greatest lyricists of all time, if you ask me.
One of the greatest, artists, man.
Artists of all time, bro.
Multifaceted,
nah? Dude was a graffiti artist as well, right?
Yeah, and I mean, if you think of a lot of his artwork, he was a graphics designer. He was a cartoonist.
Yeah.
He was a rapper. He was obviously a poet, a producer, a renowned producer.
Yeah.
Exhibitionist. He was just.
He was an artist, man.
Yeah,
he was an artist.
It was crazy.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I respect MF Doom so much. I really do. He is one of the artists, like, in terms of MCs. He is one of those MCs that I got, I understood, I respected, but never really got into.
Yeah,
You know
look, I don't
saying?
think his music is an easy listen. It's not an easy listen. It's not.
I can never say I've ever sat down and like played any Doom album from top to bottom, track 1 to track 25 or whatever, and be like on repeat like I've done with on the other
Can I
albums.
suggest one that I think that you might listen from beginning to end?
Mad Villainy?
Well, that's a good one to try.
But I've already done that, so yeah.
Okay, but I was gonna try Food.
I have listened to Food. Food is dope.
Yeah, that was a dope one for me.
Yeah, Food I've listened to top to bottom. But also it's one of those projects that I listen to like once in a blue as fucking blue balls moon. Like once in a while, But every time I've listened to any MF Doom album or any MF Doom project, whatever.
Do you know the song with De La Soul and MF Doom?
No, I don't.
I'll send it to you.
No.
Dope song.
But yeah, man. But his talent is unparalleled. He is one of the greatest that we've had in the hip hop community. I'm not gonna lie.
He's like the Mzegezege's doppelganger.
Basically, he had a lot of mystique around him, and he kind of had a lot of a cult following as well. If you ask me, he kind of formulated a little cult around him, especially now when he started doing the shit that he did with Madlib as well. You know what I mean?
I was listening to somebody talking about him, and they were saying that he's quite a pioneer in the sense of being an independent artist, because he was signed Vele to Stone's Throw, working with Peanut Butter Wolf. But I think a lot of the things he did on his own, like a lot of the collaborations would be like, vagabond record labels, somewhere, and they just do it quickly and release it, because he was growing his following. I think he knew from the get-go that he would have a very small following,
right?
And so he always his I think tactic was always to just hone in on his small following
and the niche, like work on the niche. You know,
so
what
he
I mean?
would just do things himself and almost like release them himself in a way.
And that's kind of been like the
and
tradition.
Now it's everybody's formula.
Yeah. That's been the tradition behind, and he's been busy, man. He's been busy since like the 90s, I think, whatever. He's like MF Doom has been
with KMD, right? With KMD.
And then he got into his own thing. Obviously, that's when he grew, and then obviously Mad Villainy became the cult hip hop classic that it became, and all of that, So yeah, man. I remember Vox at some point. I was watching. I came across a clip of theirs on the internet.
Vox is so good, eh?
Yeah, and they did a whole breakdown. They were going through a whole breakdown of different MCs and whatever, and how like wordplay and like building of his rhymes, and how he worked out his rhyme schemes and everything. And basically for that episode, MF Doom was the case study of how versatile hip hop can get.
Okay.
And so they broke apart all like the patterns, at least in that one song. They broke apart the patterns that he used, and how he'd leave spaces, and how he'd rhyme every third line, every second line, every this and that. You know what I'm saying? And it was so
all the while,
well.
It sounds like a conversation.
Yeah, and it was done so well that it was just amazing to see that how intricate it is, and you don't pick it up until it's broken down to you in that way. So you can see how much effort and how much artistry and how much crafting he put into his rhymes and his style. And a lot of us wouldn't pick it up for that, because you only listen to it as music, right? But if you go behind how he's crafting it for it to sound the way he does and why he's renowned, you see that there's a reason why he is so respected and prolific as an artist.
Yeah, I should watch that. I should definitely catch that, because Vox always breaks down things in a very simple, but you can see in a very well done way. And Doom, you can go in depth about the way he does his thing, man.
Yeah,
very good in terms of the lyrics, man. For me, he's up there, top tier.
No damn doubt.
Assassin,
No damn doubt.
But I think his production was also, a lot can be said about his production. I think his production, because all of his work is his productions.
Yeah.
So anything you would have heard is him. A very like a funky old soul kind of artist, and I like that. It's so not mainstream. Like
no, it isn't.
Anything he
no,
does
it isn't.
It's like the opposite of mainstream.
I think that's the reason why him and and Madlib really were able to form such a great bond because they have very great they've similarities in that sense. Because if you look at what like Madlib and his alter ego Quasimodo,
yes,
you know what I mean? That's very much Doom. That's very much Doom. That's and the style is very much close together. And when they go into that, I mean, there's tracks where I think I was listening to, what is it, The Adventures of Quasimodo? Which one was it? I was listening to the other day, and he has a track with Doom there, but it's Quasimodo and Doom on the joint. Forgot the name of the joint. But you can see why they were able to just make such a strong bond. Yeah, and we lost a great one there. Man.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they'd finished the album. There's supposed to be a Mad Villainy 2. I think they'd finished the album, but it, I guess it was about a scheduling thing to, to promote albums and do those kinds of things. And Doom is like, was infamous for like just being always under the radar and not being available to do things. You know? I mean, Mad Villainy came out, I think, in like 2004
2004, 2005, you know?
Yeah, so it's a long time ago for a follow-up. That's like a chronic timeline. Basically. Like, Jesus Christ, I raised the child!
Yeah, man, but rest in peace. Word is he died in October already, and they only released the news now.
Yeah, but did you hear how he died?
No.
I didn't. I was hoping you had.
No, I didn't.
Might have been COVID. He never really looked like the healthiest.
Yeah.
Generally,
Yeah, I doubt, man. I don't know. I think he just got sick from other things. If it is COVID, hey, it is. But I seriously doubt. I think it's something else. I think he was just sick. People get sick of
Could
other
have been,
things.
Man. R.I.P. MF Doom. R.I.P. Jay Dilla.
Talking about Jay Dilla, I was listening to the J-Lib album, the Champion Sound.
Woo! Ooh, fire right there.
J-Lib.
All the Stars is out tonight.
Oh my God.
It's a very, very, very good album. Very, very good album. Go check it out. Go download J-Lib. That's Madlib and Jay Dilla.
Check that out. But also, if you're not familiar with MF Doom's music and you are a hip-hop head, please go and download as Mad Villainy. I'd suggest Mad Villainy and Food. At least that will give you a great understanding of what we've been talking about for the last few minutes. But that's MF Doom. And now, obviously, I don't know how much time we have. We have 2 minutes. Yeah, we got to get into the Capitol Hill, where tickets were sold out. Tickets to the White House were sold out, and then some people decided they will take it upon themselves to storm the fucking White House. Ah, man. Yeah, no, I really want to talk about this Capitol Hill situation.
But and I want to talk about when it comes to that Obakeng. Idola nje ihamba phambili.
No.
Dollar ihamba phambili akunankinga. The president could be naked.
America is a movie, homie. America is a movie. Look, everything that happens in America, whether it's disastrous or positive, America has positioned itself so much as a movie. Because like we look at that country as entertainment, regardless of what's happening out there. We look at it as entertainment. Most of what we consume is evidently from this. So America is a movie. So the dollar will never necessarily plummet that much. Because it's just Hollywood. It's all because Hollywood. It's all of America is Hollywood. All of America is Hollywood. I want us to continue this conversation, but we're gonna break it here because of the time on the camera. Are you still with us? EasyjustPodcast, myself, Obakeng Moroe, and Kwanda Ndoda. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and also get with the notifications. Get with the notifications. Click that little bell on the side because you'll be notified every time we dropped a new one. And he's out here with his new grasshoppers. I haven't said shit. Inch and all of that. Grasshopper inch, and we're gonna talk about your shoes as well. But
you young grasshopper.
Aziz, teach me, master. Easyjust podcast. You're still here, man. We'll be back right after these messages. Drink water, not wine.
What it do? What it does?
Yes. Back at it again. This is the first time I say that.
What's up, everyone? Back again.
For the very first time.
Don't worry if I write checks. I write rhymes.
And jokes.
And jokes. Yeah, exactly. And jokes.
Yeah, man. So, before the break, or the 2 seconds of nothing that you heard, we were talking about the Amper coup d'etat. It's not a coup d'etat at all. It's just frustrated motherfuckers that it's so losers at the White House, basically. Basically, that's what happened.
That's actually
there.
a good way to really put it. It really was just so
losers. So losers.
People just making violence.
Man,
for the
for
sake
what?
Of violence.
For what? Like, what? Tell me what you think about that whole Capitol Hill situation, homie.
I think they were proving a point. I think they were proving a point, just like they would have back in the day. You know, you always hear of these like isolated stories of, white males in America going like lynching. Basically, something they do out in public, they do blatantly. They do it flagrantly even, and it would be totally unfair or unjust or racist. You can use whatever adjective you want. And that's just what they did now. This was just it happened. It's just like a guy kneeling on a guy's neck.
Basically,
what happened with that thing. So, and the thing is, the police couldn't do anything because it was basically the police doing it. I think all of those guys are like, they're all together. It's like those guys that'll start a neighborhood watch. Those people, those guys, they are almost friends with the police usually. So those guys are the Bati and Proud Boys.
Yes.
All of those people, they're most all together. It's all the same WhatsApp group. So them storming the Capitol is like the police storming the Capitol in CVs.
They paid to run through in their own clothes.
Basically, to the kitty box.
Did you see some of the videos? Like I saw a couple of videos that were going around where the police were kind of even like letting them in.
I wouldn't be surprised. Remember when the one guy there was protests and then a guy got shot and then I think that guy got shot or something. Oh no! This one guy killed 2 people, I think, with a pump action, and then he walked past the police. Remember that he walked past the police, and the police didn't arrest this guy.
And I didn't see that. But
well, I mean, he had shot somebody in point blank range, and then this guy had walked past the police, but he was like this Proud Boy or like part of those like white militias, and then they walked right past the police, and then the police didn't arrest this person. So I'm not surprised at what happened at Capitol Hill at all.
My guy,
they could probably do it again tonight.
And for me, it was also like a true, like, aftermath reflection on the type of personalities and divisions and I don't know, like vileness, for lack of a better phrase, that the Trump presidency created.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true.
You know what I mean?
That's so
because
true.
When I looked at that, I saw it as very embarrassing on his part. Because you know what? At the end of the day, man, be as arrogant and as I don't know, whatever, proud as you want to be, with him having that kind of personality. But if you have been defeated, right? And it's on paper and it's a fact, and you can't make up your own fucking facts. You can have an opinion, which is what he's been spewing the whole time, is his opinion. But at the matter of fact is, the votes are in. Every protocol that has to be observed was observed. Everything was done legally, and you lost.
Yeah.
You have to be professional enough to say,
lose like a champ. Yeah.
Fuck y'all, I lost. Fuck you, I lost. Fine, I'm out. I still think I should have won, but hey, whatever. I lost, I'm good, whatever. Just leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
You can be angry about losing. Everybody gets angry about losing. You can be angry about losing, but why pursue and why incite and pursue something further when it's not going to change anything? And yet the last leg, because now the people that were against him have the last laugh, because look at your product, because the last chapter in your book of your presidency, your legacy as a president, this is what your last chapter looks like. And regardless of what you've done, you ended off poorly. You didn't finish strong.
You know what? But if you look at Trump's career, though,
yeah,
he ended off with like the graduation, actually with this thing. If you look at the way of how his presidency has gone, the deals he's made, just the tech of him, this makes sense actually to end off his presidency. Because he's crazy.
Yeah.
Because he's the opposite of diplomacy. Because he's the action
diplomatic
guy.
at all.
He's the dictator. He's a
showman.
Like a rich drug dealer at the club.
Right.
He's like I don't care. I will do whatever the fuck I want, and I'm just continuing to do whatever I want. Then there's this group of people that identify with that personality.
Yes.
It's like I didn't want to use the term like a chauvinistic or masculine or macho, but it's definitely if tech, I have the power, so I'll just wield it any way I like.
He has that personality of I'll do whatever the fuck I want, however the fuck I want to do it, and I don't care what anybody says.
Exactly. So if anything, this is symbolic, Moss. This is symbolic.
There's zero diplomacy in what that motherfucker did. There's zero.
I can understand why there's zero. Because have you ever listened to Trump speak? Like, do you understand? He makes sense if he'd be like a comedian or something. But like as a president, he doesn't sound like a president,
He's not very presidential. He's entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. He's entertaining to watch. Even when he's like when you watch him for entertainment's sake, he is fucking entertaining. Yeah, you know what I mean?
He's very funny.
Yeah, he's very funny. He's entertaining. He's destructive as fuck. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And technically, you don't really want your president to be boring, but also doing the right things. You know what I mean?
But you know what?
But he is
caveat quickly. A lot of people say that, and I think it's partly true from the arguments I've heard. He made people money, like he grew the economy. People say that.
Yeah,
I don't know the truth of it. I haven't
heard
read a
that.
paper.
I've heard that.
But people say that in terms of America's economy, he definitely made the economy better. I think he made unemployment the lowest it's been in a long time.
Yeah, I've heard that. And
people are recording, crazy profits.
Yeah.
So there's that. And so
there's definitely...
people always say, just before you come in, Obakeng, people always say that that's exactly what a government should do. If there's anything that we're complaining about with our government is that that's not the environment. People don't have money. Companies aren't making the profits that they should be making, and households aren't getting the kind of incomes that they should be getting. So I'm just playing devil's advocate quickly. Can one really say that his presidency has been so bad because he's done the one thing that he's also supposed to do, even though he did it, also signing everyone and with his pants down
and grabbing pussies.
You know what I mean? Rock and roll.
Look. Like I said before, you cannot make up your own facts, right? I do not think that his presidency was completely in a shamble. I don't think so, because if there are factual positives that have come about during his presidency, and you don't like the how. Because what people don't like is the image, is the words, is the how. Yeah. Right? They don't like that. But what's on paper and what has been recorded throughout, which is what you can look at and prove.
Paper trail.
And you can't and there's been significant improvements, which you can't argue with that.
Yeah.
So if there has been, and I don't have the facts and figures and all of those things, but I do know and I've heard that there has been significant positives throughout the messy way that he's dealt with being a president. You know what I mean? There have been some serious and
he gets an F for presidency.
No, of course of course. But I'm just saying, every presidency. I mean, I think probably Obama is probably the most popular and most likable. Yeah, he's the most likable and most accepted and whatever revered president that America has ever had in modern times.
He's the coolest.
He's the coolest. Things have gone horribly right with him, and there's probably things that have gone horribly wrong under his presidency as well. I don't know the ins and outs of that. So I'm saying with Trump as well, you have to look at that. But you know what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, if the positive that has risen in his presidency, if they are there, they are fact and figured, and you can't disprove them. You have to acknowledge them. And I don't have a problem with acknowledging the positives that came about, the messy way that he has done things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just that if you had to have an acknowledgement meeting with him on his presidency, the first 10 minutes would be the good stuff, and then the second 3 hours would be all of the bad
everything.
Stuff. That's the problem.
So everything that look, you have in a leadership basis, and in that discussion, I think you have to acknowledge everything, and it's like writing an exam. If you get question 1, question 2, question 3 right, and you get your 30, 40 marks for that, and the rest of the paper you just write, fuck you teacher, I never liked you anyway, you taught us bullshit, hey, I don't like you, we are bora, in fact your hair, it was always shaking in class, and then I don't like your lipstick, and you made us, I hate the way you hit me, and everything, you know what I mean? You write all the vile stuff. They can look at all of that and be like, scratch out the rest of your paper, but they still have to give you that 30 marks or 40 marks that you got for question 1, 2, and 3.
I thought you were going to go to the opposite. I thought you were going to say they scratch those marks that you have.
No.
That's what a teacher should do.
Well, that's what they should.
I think if you write an exam, you have get 90%, and then you say fuck you teacher, you must get 0.
No, technically you should. Mara, what was asked of you is a questionnaire. That is a moral principle that you take in. But the questionnaire was, boom, boom, boom. You've answered these questions right, which was question 1, question 2, question 3, right? The rest of question 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 12, you're writing vile stuff. Yes, you can be discounted for writing all that vile stuff, but there is a part of you that you are asked in that question that you answered, and you should get points for because you answered the questions. You get what I'm saying?
I hear you. I get your point, but that there is a criminal. Tata lomdana law, aga low test level 0 out of the school. No. So for me, they mustn't get the marks.
They should get the marks for what they've done. For the I'm not saying that the marks shouldn't count. I'm not saying that the marks make them it does not make them a criminal. I'm just saying the marks that they got for that, they still got fair and square. That bit.
We will acknowledge that they got those marks.
That's all I'm saying.
But the test, you're not.
It will just be failure.
Yeah.
It will just be failure. I'm not saying that that we should give them the test. No, it just be failure. But the factual results, if you were to look at facts, the factual results.
We acknowledge. Acknowledge.
That's all I'm saying. That do I say he was a great president? Fuck no. He's an awful person. Of course, he was the worst. He was the worst. You know what I mean? But if there are things that went right,
it's worse than Richard
according
Nixon.
To probably. But if there were things that went right in his presidency that did put the country in a better standing for whatever those are, you have to acknowledge that because that is fact and figure. Because going forward, even if he's not president anymore, whatever that positive was will aid and benefit the country going forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If there was less employment, which means you have more people working, those same people are gonna be working under a new presidency, which is the Biden presidency. Those same people still have jobs. The economy or whatever still got better, and the next president has to grow and carry that on. That's all I'm saying. Did he fail the test? Yes, but the 20% of whatever improvement that he did, you should acknowledge him for that. That's all.
True.
That's all.
But I think just the final bit on his presidency, when you look at it from that perspective, if you're gonna say, for the work that we did, we give him benefit for it, like we acknowledge it and we acknowledge the positives. What about if we look at it from the perspective of before Trump's presidency? Let's say that all of this work was being done in terms of diplomacy on the part of America.
Right.
Even to put all of these deals together, whether America becomes the majority, I don't know, leader or player like in the UN or in NATO, where they have to play a big part, where they have to pay a big portion of the budget, all of these things like that, you know? All of those things have been kind of the framework which we can say America has been going, right? Making friends with everyone. Let me say it like that.
Right.
Making friends with everyone, but on the downside, if you need democracy, we'll give you democracy.
Give it to we'll slide it under the door.
Everybody else gets it nicely, but if you don't want it,
we'll slide it under the door. We'll be like,
you'll get it if you deserve it.
True that.
And then he comes in and he stops this kind of diplomatic thing, and he's like he's zap signing people, right? Basically, when you look at the good that he's done,
he's been the Eric Cartman.
Basically, yeah, definitely. He's eating the skin off the KFC.
Yeah.
Everyone else can eat the skinless KFC. Now, with that in mind, Obakeng, don't you think that we may have to look at the work that he's done almost with a squinted eye, because all of the things that he did, he basically undid a whole lot of work in terms of all of that diplomacy and basically did easy things that might even be difficult to undo. And let me use an example. Say the US was funding the World Health Organization, right?
Right.
Then Trump comes in and says, we're defunding you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's not a really sustainable thing for the US to not be funding the World Health Organization. Right? Because historically, when we look at it, they've been the main funder.
Yeah.
Even though China has come up lately. Now, for America's interest, maybe it is in their interest for them to continue funding the World Health Organization. So, that money that Trump might have brought in by coming out of, I'm just using the World Health Organization
as an example, I get you.
But say those quick wins like that have made the economy what it is now in America. But actually, it looks like a little jump in the graph. But actually, the graph has been coming up. People have been working to do this. What do you say to that, maybe?
I don't know. I don't know. I
guess, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think it okay, wait. Let me ask you this. Was it a positive? If he had done, like, did it aid the country in any sort of way?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
You know what I mean?
It did. It was.
Did it
positive.
aid?
The people that it's made jobs for, even if these jobs are temporary, and say, for example, Biden would have to revert to the system that was at Obama's level and undo the things that Trump has done, it is still a positive for the people that had that.
Hence, I'm saying, so if that was a decision that ended up aiding the country, ended up aiding the development of the country, or ended up aiding the
and they say
economy.
Black people in particular, these arguments of it was black people that actually benefited a lot.
And if that decision ended up aiding, whether the how was probably very problematic, right?
Yeah, because notwithstanding being killed by police in
record
numbers also.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But if that decision ended up like really having a positive impact, documented, then you can't really argue the fact that
on some man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Yeah, because there's a lot that happens in that. You know what I mean? There's a lot that happens in that, and maybe before him, everything was taken from a moral standpoint. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Everything was taken on a moral standpoint. Everything was taken on a traditional standpoint on this is what we've always been done.
I hear you.
And how would it look as us being America if we all of a sudden don't fund? And now, and every personality before him was trying to carry on tradition, especially in that front, because now that is a reflection to the entire world, especially now that we're in the time of COVID and everything. That is a reflection on in the entire world on what your stance is. Now comes an anomaly like a Trump that has, quote unquote, the guts to say, fuck you, the World Health Organization.
Yeah.
We're not going to fuck with, at least I'm not going to fuck with you in this way, because I see through this bullshit and this bullshit and that bullshit and that bullshit. Which,
Lobola.
exactly. Azobadala Gizi, Tag. He's that guy. He's that guy who's like, I'm stopping, okay? I'm not gonna pay this. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. You know what I mean? So he's the guy that came in and maybe saw through a lot of the bullshit that was probably there when it comes to an organization like the World Health. Because I don't think they are the be all end all. You know what I mean?
No,
so
they're not.
exactly.
Not.
So maybe he's the one person that saw through the bullshit that we don't see, because a lot of us don't even want to question anything that comes from the World Health Organization because of the fact that they are this. Just listen to the name World Health Organization. So if you have information coming from them, you blindly assume that it's been peer reviewed and dissected to such a degree that it's
correct, basically.
Yeah, it's correct, it's true, we believe it and it's fit and proper. But here comes a person that maybe looks through all the bullshit and has the guts to say, fuck you, we don't like this, and there's this and this and this doesn't happen. And the people around him and the image of America being the image that it has say, no, you shouldn't do that. No. But then that decision, harsh as it may be, and maybe the how that he did it, fucked up as it may have been and how it looked like, it ended up actually benefiting the country, and everyone else around that doesn't want to admit that they have egg on their face because of the decision that this monster has taken. You get what I'm saying?
But I wonder how many of those egg on the face scenarios there really are, because I agree that maybe
it's not. It might not be even like serious egg on the face, but if there has been a positive, you can't discredit it.
But that's what I mean. The problem with it is that I think it's like 15% positive, which is like shouted through a megaphone, and then 85% like violence.
Yeah.
And it's not squashed, but it's almost like they try to speak for it a certain kind of way.
Yeah, no, true, and that's the thing, because like,
but with like mega profits in the process.
And that's the thing. What went to the bank, you can't argue with. But also, everyone always argues everything from a moral point of view because they want to. They want to have a certain image. You know what I'm saying? There's always a certain image that has to be portrayed, and there's always there's always a certain way of doing things, and the presidential way of doing things. Whether you agree with the decisions or not, it has to be done in a very presidential way. And Trump was not presidential at all, which pissed off a lot of people who are, for the most part, traditionalist when it comes to what and how a president or decisions should be taken in that realm.
And I'm sure when you're president, you have to act like a fucking president.
No, and that motherfucker doesn't.
Yeah, like you can't just act however you want to act when you're supposed to be a president.
Which was very destructive, because there's reasons why you should be presidential, because you are not in it. This is not the country cannot be your show.
You are representing a whole nation.
You are representing your own nation. It's not you are the country that is America is not your set. It's not a studio set that you dictate what's going on. It's not your own show. It's not The Apprentice. And I think what this guy did for the most part is run the show like it's The Apprentice, and it's not The Apprentice. You know what I mean?
The staff is the same.
Yeah, continue.
The staff is the same. This guy hired his family.
Exactly,
And then he pardons his family. But then he did. It's so smart. God, at the same time, he becomes the president, does a whole lot of stuff, pardons everyone. We don't know what they've done, but they've been pardoned already. And then they probably will all go scot-free, And I think it's more embarrassing for America in terms of PR for them to arrest the president than to just leave him be. He will just go down in history as like the cowboy president. But I don't think anything would happen to him. I don't think that, and especially if guys can like descend on Capitol Hill in his name,
Yeah, and
he won't be prosecuted and go to prison because it'll be the biggest revolt you've ever seen. The lynch mob. They will lynch.
Yeah,
they will. No, I'm saying they will lynch.
They will. And the thing is, what I found very disturbing about that whole Capitol Hill situation is, he incited that.
Yeah, he's.
You know what I mean?
But what power is that, bro? Yeah,
That's
what I'm tripping on.
That is power.
That is
also
power,
that
bruh.
is.
That is not your homies. That's not your set. That's not your gangster set.
No.
That is like calling upon white males in America. Not all of them, but like a portion of them, and being like, "Yo, this is how we feel. This is what we'll do." And then the power they have is that they can descend on Capitol Hill and do what they did.
But it just shows you that part of America has always been there, because these are people that have always had those beliefs, if you ask me. Everyone that stormed Capitol Hill are people in America that have always shared the very sentiments that Trump shares.
Yeah,
They've always been there, and now their guy is on top. You know what I'm saying? So, because it's not every Trump supporter that went there. It's not everybody that tick next to his name for him to win.
There's conservative supporters.
There's a lot of people that are that shunned what he did from the Republican side. That was like, nah, this is fucked up. You shouldn't be doing this. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, you know what I mean. So there are people that were in his corner that was like, nah, my nigga, my wigger. You know what I'm saying? This is a podcast. You know what we're trying to do. But there's a lot of people that said, nah, this is not it. You are fucking up now. But there were thousands of people, however many that agreed with that sentiment. So it shows you, it uncovered the rot that was always there. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That rot has always been there. And now, because of the personality that he is and the shit that he was saying and the shit that he was inciting, it uncovered that America has always had that.
For me, I feel like it's less uncovered and more the main event.
Word?
It was just the main event. But it's just indicative of everything that's been happening until now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything has almost been leading up to something like this.
Yeah.
That's why I'm even saying, if they descended on Capitol Hill tonight again and kicked out Joe Biden, I wouldn't even be surprised.
Yeah. Because it's always like that's...
Because who do you think is more powerful right now? Do you think Joe Biden can call upon people to descend anyway?
No. Nah. And also, Democrats will never do that. That whole... It will never happen. But yeah, man, it was a show. But in the greater scheme of things, I don't know, man. It's an embarrassing way to just end your presidency like that, because it just shows that you are fucking sore loser.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he's gonna do after this. You know, is he gonna do a show as like the ex-president, like a reality TV?
The Artisan, I don't know, whatever the fuck it would be called. I don't know, man.
I don't know what he's gonna do, because I mean, like he
has an ace up his
such
sleeve.
a lot of power.
Yeah, he does have an ace up his sleeve. I think he will do something. I wouldn't be surprised if he does do a show, and guess what? That show will still have an over.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, hence I'm saying that guy literally ran America as his.
He might have more watching power than Dwayne Johnson. Probably does, actually.
I don't know about that.
Like if we were to make a movie today, if I made a movie about Trump's presidency and made it, that's just another Dwayne Johnson movie. What movie do you think people are gonna go watch?
Yeah, they'll probably watch that.
They'll
probably watch the Trump movie.
It'll be the biggest probably show ever.
Yeah, because it's near living memory. We are in it now, and it's hot property at the moment. You know what I mean? But it's the same that we were saying earlier. Like he was running that country as if it was his own set of The Apprentice, and he just did whatever the fuck he wanted, and he's gonna get out of it scot-free.
But he wants to pardon Suge Knight. Like, bro, that's what he wants to do.
I'm just playing. Pardon Suge Knight. Wow.
Yeah, wants to let him go, bro. This guy
shame.
doesn't belong in prison.
Shame. Good rough.
But he does actually want to. I saw an article that he wants to pardon Lil Wayne and Kodak Black.
I never read any of that, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, man. Also,
crazy, eh?
Also, what is Lil Wayne doing? Okay, he's in jail.
He just got caught in possession of firearms, I think. I don't know why these guys carry guns so much. Yeah. I suppose when you do business with Baby and then Baby reads an article, you sold the masters.
A lot of hip hop, man, was funded off the back of
gangsters.
Money. Yeah, a lot of hip hop was funded off the back of. So that's why these guys, even though we see them,
do you think there's any South African acts that got funded off drug money?
Probably.
If you'd have to guess, Uzola, does he strike you as the kind of guy that would have?
I don't want to say.
Just like the image. No, we're speculating. We don't know.
Yeah,
but just from looking at the music, because like in America, you can associate the kind of music with. Maxwell wasn't funded off drugs.
No. Of course not.
Exactly.
No, I don't necessarily think. I think of the image of.
Okay, who would it suit? Because Uzola would definitely suit.
Yeah, no, Zola would definitely. Zola
Dr. Machel would also suit.
Look, yeah, Zola of yesteryear. You know
not Zola 7.
Not no, Zola, yeah. It will definitely, but also I still
Big Zulu.
No, not Big Zulu, man. Big Zulu doesn't strike me as Java, maybe. Java off of Taxi Money, definitely.
But Big Zulu is all about the taxis, bro. Not Java, they're the same.
No, yeah, I think it maybe built off of the image, but I don't think directly funded by. But also, I don't know.
No, I mean, we're just saying whose image would it suit, you know?
Now, Uzola definitely would suit Uzola.
I didn't say TKZ.
Zola. Nah, TKZ were too, no TKZ.
They look too nice.
They were too nice. They were the nice boys.
But I feel like they were pantsula.
Nah. Alaska maybe. Alaska.
Definitely
Trompies.
Alaska kaloko.
Yeah.
Trompies definitely.
Yeah. Kimang. Mapaputsi definitely.
Most
you know? Speaker is
I mean, that's still Trompies. Arthur, no, for me. No, not to Arthur. 999 is free of drugs. 999 is like a kiddie's quite though.
It was nigga. I'm deep, nigga. I mean, no.
Every song has to be a dance, bro.
Yeah. Oh, Shabatola, my babe. No, that doesn't give me a drug vibe, not at all. I don't know, man. I don't know, but. Yeah, that whole
Dog Shebelez.
Dog Shebelez are definitely. Yeah, Dog Shebelez. Yeah?
By pimping money. Not by jacks. By brothel money.
That was definitely brothel money.
Dog Shebelez. What is it? How does it go now?
How does it go? I forget. How do we forget a Dog Shebeleza fucking moniker?
Yo, kumnandi la
andindawo. I know.
Nah, that's the one.
That's brothel money. That's not drug money. No. Who else would be a drug money? I don't know. I can't think of anything about that.
Josie.
Nah, Josie.
No, they're also very kiddie.
They're kiddie. Josie is like is your TV money.
It is your TV money.
It's your TV money. or I don't know, some alcoholic beverage money. It's nice time money. I don't know. Yeah.
I can't think of anyone else. Do also wouldn't strike me as like funded by drugs.
No. Nah.
Not really.
No.
Just some guy.
Mashamplani definitely.
Just some guy
drugs.
from Maplazi.
Mashamplani was definitely. Beggarless nice.
Yeah, Mashamplani,
Alaska. Yeah, that's drug money music. Although don't take this shit as fact. We're just talking shit here.
Saying, like,
please.
In a parallel universe.
Because we know you people. You're gonna be there in the comments, and you are here not just type.
Not APA, ne?
Yeah.
Not APA.
Yeah.
Not APA. In a parallel universe.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, this has been fun. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, man. I think just everyone out there, just be kind to each other. You know, just
don't get COVID.
Yeah, kindness is underrated.
Oh shit! Damn it!
Did it stop recording?
Card full. Damn.
Stopped at the end.
Yeah, stopped at the end. But we're gonna come back to do our final goodbyes because I always wanna give you all a goodbye. And
Oh, is this the one?
yeah, we're still recording the audio.
I'm sorry, so I just started singing. I thought we were off.
No.
I'm sorry.
But we're gonna come back and give you proper goodbyes and tell you to subscribe and shit, because that's what we do. Yes.
What it do?
Yeah. We were in the process of leaving you, and now we came back on camera to leave you formally.
Back on camera.
He just did that, and now I'm trying to tighten up this camera, and now I'm gonna end up holding the mic up.
Turn it, squeeze it.
Hi
put it closer.
man. It's doing weird things, so now I have to hold it up and act cool.
So now you're gonna be like me.
Yeah, I have to act cool now because we actually running this with with a broken mic stand that has really kept its cool.
Because we broke, but we will have donation links that you can just click on soon, and you can just donate money and get us things like mic stands and Ferraris and stuff. Yeah.
And Ferraris. How we go from mic stand to a Ferrari? In fact, yes, I think we should run a little thing where the loyals can get us a new mic stand. It literally costs $300. So we are asking. This is like our first group project. Let's do that. A group project where
if everyone that subscribed would donate R2, just like you do at KFC.
Yeah, $2 for a mic stand, not for hope. We already have a lot of hope, but we are asking for.
I want to know. Does anybody know the foundation that KFC works with to feed these kids?
I don't either. It's maybe it's called hope.
So these $2 going to a tiki box?
I don't know, my guy. But yeah, this is our first crowdfunding campaign from our loyal subscribers, all 50 something of you. We're asking for 4 people in here to just give 50 Rand a piece to get a new mic stand, because we need a new mic stand for the podcast. If you enjoy this content, get us a new mic stand. That's all we're asking for.
So I can stop with all of this, the whole time. When I talk on the mic, it's always oh, damn.
Mike is gonna end up jizzing on your face. So yeah, man, that is what we're asking for. We just need a new mic stand. We can't afford it right now. So if y'all can give $50 a piece, and then we get a new mic stand, that will be highly appreciated. But nonetheless, man, this has been fun. As a belief.
Toch, man.
But this has been fun. Our very first episode of the EasyJust podcast for 2021 talked about a lot of things from Lobola to the Trump presidency to what else did we talk about?
Middle fingers.
We didn't talk about middle fingers.
MF Doom.
Oh yes, no, isn't it metal face?
It's also middle fingers.
Yeah. Whoa, I don't know. Okay, but we talked about MF Doom, and we got off on a tangent and talked about a whole range of things. But to you, and especially you that stayed up until the end of the podcast, we appreciate you, and you're probably the person that's gonna give the 50 Rand.
What we didn't talk about is that if you'd watched our previous episodes, we said, Uguti, we wonder how those NEC meetings will go, because we wonder what percentage of people would not be tainted in anything disciplinary against corruption.
Basically.
And just go watch the news. Go see what the results were. The result was that, just go watch. Go watch our podcast and then go watch the news as it is today, and you just decide what has actually transpired.
Because actually, ku rough, ku tricky, ku wow.
But
yeah,
we're
still here, and we need a new mic stand. But besides a new mic stand and everything, we appreciate your views, we appreciate your time, we appreciate your subscriptions and all of that. Tell your friends, tell your friends' friends, tell your baby mamas, your mamas, baby mamas,
your mamas,
baby mamas. Subscribe, hit the notification
button. Tell the homeless
button.
people around you.
Yes, well, yeah, just tell them.
Just tell them.
Because one day you never know.
You don't know what their destiny is.
And then they can get a new job, or it's a business venture, and then they can afford data, and then they are new subscribers to the show. We do not discriminate, of course.
Maybe they have phones.
You know what I'm saying?
And
there
maybe
we go.
They can go to a Wi-Fi hotspot.
And just
maybe
chill.
they just got a phone from an innocent person who's just walking by with a phone, and they felt like, you know what, we're homeless. We could get this phone.
Don't matter. But yeah, hit the subscribe button. We need the numbers. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Tell your imaginary friends, all of them. Tell your Facebook buddies, share, like, subscribe. Lezinto always been the talk of the town from corner to corner. Lazo vela corner sasin corner fana sazo tola bano mona ba ya corner the corner zo corner belu kokumo ya ketla ba komis kokosa corner. Twal.
That's the one.
There we go, man. EasyjustPodcast has been good. Myself, Obakeng Moroe.
Kwanda. We
out here, baby. See you on the next one.
Peace in the Middle East. It is what it is. Free Palestine.
And we have to do what we do every single time.
Sutindu.